Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Working Horses with Jim. I'm Jim, and my wife Brenda is holding the camera.
Good morning.
So this morning is a nice start to the day. It's about 50 degrees out right now. It's actually been kind of dreary, to tell you the truth. It's been dripping a little bit of rain, a few showers this morning, but I have been able to get some stuff done. I took out Bill and Baron out to the field, and I've done a little bit of harrowing with them and playing in the mud. As you can see, their feet have a lot of mud on them, both of them, because I've been going through some somewhat wet areas with my spring tooth, and that helps dry things out really well. So I like to do that. Of course, if I tried to use a tractor, I'd get buried. But the horses can go through it, but it's not very easy. It's hard work to go through that mud. But usually after one pass through, give it a day, it dries out really nice, and a lot of times it's ready and fit to go. So that we did earlier this morning, and I'll probably go back later this afternoon and do some more of that. But today, I want to give Lady just a little bit of exercise, not a lot, but we have some more fences to put in. So I'm going to take her and Ken and hitch them onto the scoot and go out to the back of the field, and I actually made a ditch out there this spring, and I'll show you that, and we'll get some more fence posts out there. Okay, so we're at the end of our field. As you can see, the farm's up there, the buildings. And what I did this spring is I came out here with my excavator and I started a ditch right here and made a ditch all the way down through to where the excavator is now, which is way down at the end of the field. There was a ditch part way through here, but not up through here, and the water that's coming out of the woods is seeping into the field, so we had quite a wet hole right along through here. You can sort of see it, that in the spring of the year I like to use this perimeter of the field to exercise my horses on. If I can't go here, I kind of gotta go on the blacktop, and I don't want to go on the blacktop if I don't have to. But the trail was wet, so I took the dirt from the ditch and made a mound here, and so now we're up on this higher spot, and this dries out really fast because it's higher and the water is in the ditch. So this is going to allow me to get onto my field most of the time without having to worry about mud. So because there was a fence here and I tore this all down to do the ditch, so now I need to put the fence back up, and there's a bunch of posts through here that were bad, so that's why we decided to bring a bunch more posts up here. We'll put new posts, probably mostly the whole stretch here, although some of these posts are still okay. So that's what we're going to work on. So what we generally do is go about 12 paces between my fence posts. So we'll just count off 12 places. It's so nice to have a pair of horses that just stand and you can trust them. Although any horse can run away too, so you also have to keep that in mind even with an older team. But anyways, they stand good, and I can just work my way through here and not have to worry too much about the horses. And even sometimes the sled itself, I can stand on the sled to pound a fence post, although probably not that often. So what I want to do is keep my roadway open so that I can always use the roadway with the horses. So the fence posts are going to be in places fairly close to the ditch and other places not quite so close. I have an iron bar. Most of this is pretty elementary stuff, but for some people that have never done this, it may not be that elementary. So I have an iron bar here, and I have a sledgehammer. Actually, it's a maul. A sledgehammer would work probably better. And here again, the only difference between a sledgehammer and a maul is a sledgehammer will have a big round spot like this on both ends. This has a maul for splitting firewood, but this works fine for pounding too. So what I do after I measure out the distance that I want to go If the ground is really wet, I'm able to just pound the fence post right in. But as it starts to dry a little bit, I need to take my iron bar and pound it in, kind of slide it back and forth type of thing. So now I have a nice hole. And then I'll take my fence post, which is 2.5 by 2.5, drop it in the hole, and pound it in. These fence posts are made out of tamarack or larch, and I love the wood. It works really good because it's pretty rot resistant, so it lasts quite a while. I believe I've only been making these fence posts for a few years now, so I don't really know how long they will last, but they do. I'm sure they will last quite a while. The only downfall of these is, if you guys have ever dealt with this type of wood, it has the tiniest little slivers in it, and I used to kind of think I was fairly tough and had fairly tough hands. And of course, in the spring of the year, no one has tough hands because they've been wearing gloves all winter. But anyways, even when my hands are as tough as I feel they've ever been, I can still get these slivers in my hand. It's just the tiniest little slivers, and they're just a pain in the neck. But that's just the way it is sometimes. I don't need to, in our soil, I don't need to pound these in deep. Just when my soil dries, it gets really hard, and so they're very solid after they're in just a little ways.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, as you can see, this is pretty, it's really clay soil that we have here.
So I'll walk off another 12 paces. Stick my post so I know where it's at. Bring my horses up ahead. There's been times that I've had horses that I could just ask them to come right up to me and they would come up to me. I'm sure I could teach these two to do that also. But out in the middle of the field, I wouldn't do it anyways. Years ago, I used to do a lot of sugaring, and we had horses that we could just call and they'd come right up to us. But I'm not gonna do that here because it's out in the middle of the field. It's just not worth the risk. I thought there was something else I was gonna say. Oh, I know. So as you can see, the electric wire fence is just kind of hanging here. I didn't come down. I was not planning on hitching the fence up. I'll come back and do that later. So I will come back with my insulators, put the insulator into the post, and hitch the wire up. Any questions? You look like you have a question, Brenda.
Well, we don't have our insulators with us, so you could show people if they don't know what an insulator is. But that would have been cool if you would have seen if they would come up to you. You said you're not going to do it, but why don't you see if they'll do it?
Lady, Ken, come on. Step a little bit. Step. Oh.
I talked him into trying it.
I'm sure it would take very little to teach them to do that, but I'm not going to do it here. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it now.
But they did good. You did good. Jim mentioned that he is happy about this little roadway for this time of year, but also I was thinking sometimes in the summer, if he's getting the horses ready for a horse pull or something, he'll have them walk around on the scoot, and oftentimes he does not like messing up his hayfield, and so this little road he's made around the edge is just going to be nice for them. I think it's just more of a permanent situation, and like you said, it kills two birds with one stone. Look at all the water there is in this ditch over here, which would be seeping into the field otherwise. Well, here we are down at our little cabin, which is just down the way from where Jim is. He'll be coming. And as you can see, our pond has got a lot of stuff growing in it. That's going to be a project for this summer. Jim wants to dig it out with the excavator. But listen to all the... It's a swampy area down here. Listen to all those peepers. Frogs. The world has truly just come alive here in northern New York in the last few days. Everything is waking up. The grass is starting to get greener, and the sun is so warm, and the frogs are out. I'm going to check in the woods to see if there's any spring beauties or anything coming up, peeping their heads out of the leaves in just a minute. If you're new to our channel, just wanted to let you know we have this little cabin at the end of our field with this pond, and in the winter, if the conditions are right, we give sleigh rides, which we did not do many last winter because Jim was logging and the conditions weren't great when people wanted sleigh rides. But anyways, here's our little cabin. It's really untouched since about a week after Christmas, and it's just kind of the way it was. Every time I come down here, I'm like, oh, I love this place. But it's funny, it's not that far from our house, but we just have so much going on that we don't get down here very often. And sometimes we wonder if we should move the cabin or, you know, just do something so we could make better use of it. But as of right now, we haven't done anything, and we just got too much going on for just ourselves to do different projects like that right now. We all have to choose how we want to spend our time and what is most profitable to be doing with the time that we have. That's water coming right off the field right there, flowing away from the field. So that's working good. So this is our sleigh ride trail where it comes out of the woods, right up where Jim is. And I was looking for some little hints of spring, and I did find some little, what I always called spring beauties, sprinkled here and there. lady knows she's on the homeward bound stretch, so she is just like raring to go. She doesn't care that she's like 10 months pregnant. She just keeps on going.
Okay, so this morning we went out and harrowed a little while in the field with these two guys, Bill and Baron, and then we took Lady and Ken out and put the fence posts in as we showed you. Now we're going to go back out and do a little bit more harrowing with these two, but what we want to do is get set up so we can use 3 on the harrows. So it's good this first time around just to use these 2, and they both have a lot of energy, so this is really good. Short little stretches of time harrowing with these 2, and that's going good. But to go with 3, we need a 3-horse evener, 3-horse cart. So here we are at my single horse cart, and we have to change it around to a 3-horse cart, which is very simple, my situation here. So I have to pull this pin and pull this pin out of here, like so. I can set that there. I've got this on block, so hopefully it'll stay there. This single tree, or whipple tree, has a pin on the bottom. Comes out like that. I'm gonna pull that pin, and that can sit there, and we'll throw that right over there for now. And then the shafts can slide right out. If I get it centered, slide right out like that. Now this can be put, we'll put this back in the barn where it's out of the weather. So now, as you can see, we have 2 pipes here. One in the center for for the shafts, and or for if you were just working a team for 2 horses. This pipe here is for the offset tongue, which is used when you're using odd horses. So we're going to use 3 horses, so we need to have the offset tongue or pole. So my pole's all set up. I have a neck yoke already on it, and my neck yoke is actually bolted on so it can never come apart. When you have 3 abreast, the way I have set up, there's always the risk of your neck yoke sliding right off the end of the pole. Having it bolted like this, it will always stay in place. So it's just a simple matter of sliding this in, and this should be the right size, the length, because I would have used it last year. And it drops back to there. It seems like it's in the right spot. Brenda, if you could pull those blocks out of there, we'll let this set down on the pole.
Okay.
So now all we need is the evener. Since we're not using the center pipe, I'm going to put this pin back in, which is not always needed. It just depends on the situation you're in. With the shafts, I need this center, this pin here. So that goes there. And then this is my 3-horse evener. And I will set that in place, and I'll explain a couple things on it. So that slides in place, pin goes down it through, and then this cotter pin goes in place. Okay, so now Tomorrow I hope to start using 3 because I'm hoping my field is going to be dry enough so I can safely use 3 horses. And what I will do is Ken will be in the center, and then I'll probably put Baron on that side, and I'll probably put Bill on this side. I could do it either way because both those horses swap back and forth, and I may change my mind, I'm not sure, but one goes one place and one goes the other. And then I adjust my lines accordingly for 3 horses, and off we go to get the job done. So that's for maybe tomorrow. Who knows, maybe the next day. Tomorrow morning, we hope to have London's supposed to be helping out tomorrow again, and we're hoping to pick a few stones. We don't have that many stones, but we got a few stones in the top part of that field I want to pick. So London will help us do that, and we'll actually share or have him share a little bit more about his mission trips that he went on last year and the mission trip that is planned for this year. And if you guys even wanted to help support him financially, there will be a way to do that. So we shall see you tomorrow.
Well, good morning, everybody. It sure is a warm day. I told Jim this morning is the first day I walked out without a coat on to go to the barn. And as he said, we're here today with London, and he is helping us pick stones in our field that he's going to be planting at some point with oats. So we've got Baron and Bill, and this is good exercise for Baron, the stopping and starting. And we will be talking in a minute about London and his trip he's got coming up. Jim wants to get these horses a little bit tired because they stop better and stand better after they've done a little bit of work.
Let's get these big ones here.
We are just doing the upper section of this field right now. That's all we've got time for because we have some other things going on today. But we'll just do a small section at a time. Get the biggest stones.
The end of the field is the worst.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's tons of rocks here.
Trying to go here. Seems like it pulls the rock out onto the harder ground.
Yeah, rolls them out.
And they don't bear it up.
So this is London Beachy, and he lives near us. And London, tell us what grade you are in school.
I am in 11th grade this year.
Okay. And if you missed our video last week, we introduced London, and if you missed last year, we had London on our channel because he did a mission trip last year. Tell us a little bit, where did you go last year, London?
So last year I traveled with the missions organization Teen Missions International, and I went to the country of Zambia, which is in Africa.
Okay, and what was your big project that you did there, or was there a big project?
So while we were in Zambia, we kind of had a bunch of different projects that we were working on. I'd say the main one was probably digging out septic lines to go to the septic tank at one of the bases in Zambia that Teen Missions has. We also worked on constructing a fence, and also just did some random other work that they needed around there.
Oh, that's interesting. You did some fence work down there too. What's one big thing, takeaway from their culture that you appreciated or noticed? Is there anything that comes to mind?
The biggest thing was that everyone was very happy and content with what they had. Even though they had so much less than what we have here in America, they were always happy and were always smiling when you came to talk to them. They wanted to ask you questions and wanted to play soccer with you and stuff. So they're always just very happy and joyful, which is really cool to see.
That is neat. So it made you want to go back again, huh?
Yeah, it definitely did. It was an amazing experience.
And where are you going this year?
So this year, once again, I'll be traveling with Teen Missions. I'm going to go to Bolivia this year, which is in South America.
Okay. Is there any particular, is it the same thing, just kind of working along with some projects that they have there that they...
Yeah, so they have a couple different projects we'll be working on there. Teen Missions has a sister church in Montero, so we're going to be working on constructing a 30 by 30 foot classroom there at the church in Montero, and also doing some other construction projects and painting things that they need to get done as well.
Good. It sounds like you're getting some good life skills from doing these projects too.
Definitely.
So if you're interested in supporting London, we're going to put a link in the description below our video. So you'll see where it talks about what the video is about, and then there's a little, it says more. You click on the more, and I think below that we'll have London's link to where you can donate to Teen Missions if you're interested in supporting him in this project. Any other thing that you want to say, London, or that I might have forgotten to mention?
No, I don't think so. I think we got most of it.
Good. Well, we wish you the best.
Thank you.
And we can see the growth and the willingness for you to share in our church and community. Maybe even more so because you went last year, but you know, we're just glad to have them around. Okay, we better get back to work. least they're just little stones now we're getting off of here, not big, huge ones like we used to get off. There's probably still some there too somewhere, but. It better be a good aim. Well, I think I've been slacking long enough. I better get to work and help these guys. Thanks for coming along today. We hope you enjoyed the video. And we hope you have a beautiful day.